Purposes for assessment. People most often use language assessment to collect two kinds of data. One is connected with the learning of language with assessing the degree of progress toward a learning goal. These purposes are important in school and other educational settings, and so the assessment used to collect the data come under the heading of educational assessment. Educational language assessment usually take place within language program. The procedure are usually based on content that has been or will be taught under frequently developed and carried out by teachers, and can be often flexible, allowing for the use of observational technique, watching and recording what learners do, portfolio, collection of learner work, self-assessment, learning, making judgment about their own abilities, and informal tests or quizzes, as well as formal tests, administered under more strictly controlled condition. The second kind of information is connected with whether or not a person's language ability is adequate to satisfy some predetermined need or standard. This is I know as frequency assessment. The assessment of language proficient is usually connected to the language and related skill that they are need to carry out a job, study an academic subject, or fulfill other kinds of role. Because the focus is not on what the assessee has been taught, this kind of assessment is less likely to be carried out by teacher and more likely to involve formal tests administered under controlled uniform standardized condition and produced by national or international agency. Proficient assessment are distinct from educational assessment because they do not centered of learning process or the outcome of a particular course of study. Proficient assessment are connected with a person current functional rather than with their language, their learning, what the assessors can accomplish to their use of language now, not how they reach this point or how long it might take them to arrive at a higher level of ability. In proficient assessment, the issue is whether or not the person being assessed has sufficient language ability to satisfy certain needs. Proficient assessment are often used for gatekeeping decision, mitigation assess to employment and educational opportunities. This may relate to relatively specific purpose, such as using the language in leading group of tourists around a city, working as a dentist, steering ship in international waters, or studying marketing at a university, or it may be for less specialist or less clearly definable general purposes that might apply to a very wide range of language user. Thus that many language user might need to carry out at some informs with basic personal information, buying food, following television news program, reading article and popular magazine, or holding convention about personal experience. Educational assessment in teaching and learning. Assessment can take place of different strategies stage during the learning process. Before they begin a course in a new language, we may be interested in the learner aptitude for language learning, their potential to learn. All truth we know that almost anyone can learn a foreign language given the time and motivation. Some people may be predisposed to make faster progress than others. I sport coach looking for someone with the potential to be a good basketball player may try to find someone who is tall and able to jump high with quick reaction, good coordination, and a competitive spirit. In the same way, some selected language training programs, such as those organized by the military, need to pick from a large group of applicants those with the greatest potential to learn a language quickly. The Pimsleur Language Aptitude Battery, Pimsleur et al. 2004, for example, set out to identify as potential language learner individuals with a good memory for word, shape, and sound who are good at discriminating between similar sound, good at identifying grammatically patterns, and who have an interested other culture. Partly because motivation is now widely regarded as more important than aptitude in shaping language learning success, and partly because most language courses cater for learners who already have some knowledge of a language. Aptitude tests are not as widely used as they used to be. It is more often the case that the course providers wish to find out how much of the content of the course language learners already know before they began, or how much they have learned by the end. In this case, assessment may be prognostic, looking forward to the content plane for the course and deciding opportunities or priorities or concerned with achievement. Looking back to what the learners have been taught to find out how much they have absorbed and what might need to be covered again. Aptitude and prognostic assessment are used to inform selection decision, deciding which learner might require language course or choosing those most likely to succeed. They may also be used to inform placement decision about which of the available classes best matches each learner needs during a course. Achievement assessment as progress tests might be used to gauge the ongoing improvement made by the learners. At the end of a course, as exit tests, they are often used in making pass-fail decision or in assigning grades. In using achievement assessment, the teacher may be interested in obtaining detailed diagnostic information about which part of the material learner have taken and which part will need more work. In assessing learning, a distinction is often made between more formative user of assessment that immediately guide what teacher and learner will do next, and more summative user which focus on a retrospective picture of what has been learned. Another way of expressing the distinction is to call the former assessment for learning, and to contrast this with assessment of learning. Black and William, 1998. In the other words, in Wiggins, 1998, term summative assessment audits learning. Formative assessment inform it. An example of the use of formative and diagnostic assessment would be a teacher observing that some students are having difficulty and distinguishing between for the scenes when talking about time in English. The teacher might decide to intervene by asking questions and providing example to help build their understanding of the distinction. This kind of assessment inform learning because the teacher is able to adjust the content of her classes to take account of the student performance. The focus is on what should happen. An example of a more summative assessment would be an end-of-year test based on the topic touched during the year. The test audit learning by providing evidence of what the student have learned and how well they have met the course objective. The focus is on finding out how much learning has happened, like the formative assessment described above. Such a test might include questions dealing with the specific points of grammar, such as the four scenes distinction found in the diagnostic test. But the result may not be available until the school year has finished, and this is no immediate opportunity to work on improving performance as all the students have left. In this case, the result might be used for program evaluation or judgment about the effectiveness of the language course rather than on the ability of individual learners gaining an awareness of how well the learner are processing is of the course easier when the learner are also involved and interested in the process and share their insight with the teacher. Good learners set themselves target, think about how best to learn, trying out and evaluating new techniques, and often reflect on their own process toward their goal. Self-assessment and peer assessment, in which learner assesses their own and each other performance, have emerged as powerful of engaging learner in this process and helping them to take more control of their own learning. Of course, teaching can become more challenging when the learner do not want to learn or are unwilling to communicate. This brings us to another reason for using our awareness motivating learning, because Assessment are often associated with reward, assessed opportunities such as scores or job prize, certificates, grades, praise, and attention from the teacher. This can serve as a powerful motivation for learners. However, using assessment in this way is risky and potentially very damaging. In some cases, it can actually have a negative effect on a learner motivation. The learner who repeatedly fails to gain good grade or fast test will sooner or later become frustrated, conclude the language learning is not worth the effort, and give up even trying to learn. Formative diagnostic assessment from providing helpful feedback, information about performance that can show the learner what he or she needs to do in order to improve, promises to guide learners in their studies. However, for many learners, especially those in formal schooling, success on tests, especially major proficiency tests, may come to seem more important than successful communication in the language they are learning. Where this happens, the content of the test can take over from the official curriculum and learning goals that are not covered on the test may get pushed aside and ignored. Teacher may teach and student may try to learn only the material that they think will be assessed. That change in teaching and learning that may come about in response to an upcoming test are no a washback, and this has emerged as important area of a language assessment research. Feedback and patchwork are discussed in more detail in Module 4. Educational assessment. Educational assessment on the one hand, particularly informative assessment and frequency assessment on the other hand, are more seen as distinct even incompatible assess areas of specialization conducted by different people embracing different values. For this reason, they are often treated separated, and the relationship between them range from mutual indifferences to sometimes heated conflict. The conflict is most often play out in the field of summative assessment, where the role of the teacher as the facilitator of learning, the world of formative assessment come up against the need to account for what has been learned in terms of general standard set by employers, government, or other external agency. The word of summative assessment and proficient assessment all truth the differences between what teachers do in the classroom and the large-scale testing are important. This is also a good deal in common between them. To be effective, both depend above all on well-crafted question or other technique that will provide useful evidence of learning abilities. Task type used in large-scale tests can be adapted for use in the classroom, while innovative ideas first trend out in class can find their way into more formal assessment. Both classroom assessment and large-scale tests can be improved by careful and critical review and through experience. The result from assessment on one occasion inevitably point to improvement to be made the next time in is used. Achieving good quality in both required collective and systematic effort. Ways of checking and improving language assessment are described in Module 3 and 4. Perhaps the strongest argument for treating assessment in the classroom and in the examination hall in the same book is that in a healthy educational system, both should work together. If teachers understand how tests work, they will be more effective at preparing their students to take examination. On the other hand, as Alderson 1999 remarked, testing is too important to be left to tester. It is essential that educational tests should reflect the curriculum and the needs and interests of learners. Teachers are familiar with their learner and with the reality of how the curriculum is delivered in practice. They are therefore well placed to judge the content of tests and to hold the test maker to account.